Hello everybody, and welcome to the third episode of Fallout 4 Cryolator Only. This is exactly as it says on the tin. In this challenge, I can only use the Cryolator to cause damage to enemies. And also, like, stuff like not being allowed to use companions, etc. Only the Cryolator. So right now I'm just scrapping most of Sanctuary. I'm just going through the houses, getting the wood, the steel, the cloth. Those are my main resources for grinding into experience, because respectively they can be turned into paintings, signs, and flags respectively, which allows me to craft more objects on top of pre-existing objects without needing to move around. Whereas items like fence posts, you can't build those on top of each other, and even if you could, you couldn't scrap them when they're on top of each other. So yeah, I'm just running around here. So yeah, the purpose of scrapping everything is primarily to get, as I said, wood, steel, cloth to grind into experience, because at the start that's the simplest way for my character to get XP. Right here I'm moving the chem station and the cooking station just so that they're easier to access. And now they're right over here. And then getting some extra resources. And then other stuff like rubber, ceramic, aluminium, those will be useful for constructing power armor modifications and repairing the power armor. So as this stuff is going on, I guess I can address the Bootstraps Billy challenge that I was doing up until today, recording this commentary. So this week I wasn't able to stream Monday, and then Tuesday and today I finished Bootstraps Billy quite quickly. And it sort of comes as a surprise how quickly that came to an end. And I guess part of it was just due to how smoothly, relatively speaking, some of the final missions went. Like, for example, when I started up the stream on Tuesday, the only things I had left to do was blind betrayal, which is very easy to do, if gameplay wise. If there's no moral issue or no internal issue about whether or not to kill Dance, that is a very easy mission with very little combat. And then after that was tactical thinking. But before tactical thinking, I killed everybody in the railroad area itself. And I did that because, for one, based on the rules of the challenge, I would be allowed to sleep in the railroad HQ right beforehand. And for another, it would give me the element of surprise. Whereas, if I attacked the railroad HQ after getting the tactical thinking quest, I would end up with, I would have to run all the way through them, and I wouldn't even be allowed to sleep in the bed. But yeah, because I got there before starting blind betrayal, I was able to start the quest anyway. And here I am turning wood into XP. So, you know, you could, like, the speed at which you see the XP bar rising, it actually rose 4 times slower when I was actually doing this, because this is sped up by 4 times. And as you can see here, I'm just scrapping paintings, and then like they weirdly stack on top of each other. And then I find a spot, right here, to get some more. And I'm waiting for like level 11 so that I can take Idiot Savant 2. So yeah, basically the way that I dealt with the railroad was it was what I showed beforehand, where I was pacifying most of the people, which it had the main effect of keeping the already hostile railroad people off of attacking me, because they were attacking the incited, their incited members. But with Glory, what I actually ended up doing was I took basically every chem that I had available. It was a buff out, a psycho, maybe even a jet. And then I just, yeah, so here I take Cap Collector, Idiot Savant, another Locksmith. So yeah, back onto the railroad. I ended up shooting Glory a bunch, like just with all those buffs attached to me. And I didn't realize it at the time, but when I did that, I actually got Deacon in a single hit in the crossfire. And then at the end, all that was left was Tinker Tom and Drummer Boy, who were both incited and fighting each other. But then it was mainly a factor of killing them quickly enough. And then with them killed, I could start the. I then started Blind Betrayal, because when you turn in Blind Betrayal, you automatically start Tactical Thinking, and that causes you to no longer be allied with the railroad. So doing it earlier than that is beneficial. And then, despite the fact that Tactical Thinking does not get skipped when you pre-kill the railroad, like it does with the Institute ending, it still led to quite a bit of benefit, because when I did do Tactical Thinking, when I did do that quest, I ended up I only needed to kill the railroad people in the main, like in the Old North Church interior itself, rather than the actual railroad HQ. So, and of course there was a few deaths when I did the actual killing of the railroad. None when I did Tactical Thinking, which was a plus, but when I was killing the railroad itself, I think I died 2 or 3 times. But that was mainly as I was figuring out a way to do it. What else? So after that, it went straight into Spoils of War. Yeah, straight into Spoils of War. And that's where you go through mass fusion as the Brotherhood of Steel, which entails flying to the building, getting shot by synths during all that, and then yeah. So before I continue on, right here, I've ran out of easily accessible steel and wood that I could obtain from Sanctuary and Red Rocket. So what I end up doing is I think I take another heavy gun around, a heavy gun perk. But what else do I take, if any? No, I don't take any. I think it's here that I realize, yeah. So in my perk list, I had Armorer, like Armorer 2 for level 13, but also for level 15 as a due to a mistake. So here I'm just cranking out some more water. And so therefore, that's why I always have extra points available for the majority of the episode, if not the whole thing. So back to Bootstraps Billy. So for Spoils of War, I was already planning on using the fusion core and obtaining a set of power armor. And that power armor ended up being extremely useful because I didn't need to worry that much about the synths they're killing me. Whereas if I were just in my armored baseball uniform, I probably would have been killed quite frequently. And then once I land from the vertibird on top of mass fusion, it would probably be very difficult to get myself into hiding, especially because I would already be at low health. Oh, and here I am doing fire support, putting on my armor just in case. But I'm mainly just waiting for Dance to kill all the ghouls. But actually what happens here is that Dance is repeatedly getting downed by the ghouls really surprisingly quickly. So as I'm waiting here, so basically with sneaking around being not a very good option doing mass fusion, I see that Dance was downed. And then I go here again and get spotted before going around the other side. Yeah, go around here. That way the ghouls will be aggro to me, but they won't be able to attack me because I'd be up higher than they can attack. And then Dance can pick them off while they're trying to get towards me. So here I can see that he gets up, and then within seconds they down him. So that's why I decided to stand on this. And then he performs a lot better. And these guys you see here are the last wave as well. So now that's done, I'll just loot everything. So then basically, with the power armor, I went down through the lift. When it's the section where you're being shot at by all the synths on the lift, like as a sitting duck, I was actually able to not be noticed by any of them at all. And then when they blew up the elevator and I hit the middle section, again the power armor helped me to survive, just by being able to tank the damage and also to be able to mainly it's mainly about being able to tank the damage because you are quite in the open and doing that sneaky is very difficult. Like without, even if I had done it without power armor, I could have bought like a stealth boys from Tinker Tom before attacking the railroad, and then I would have still. Oh, and here it's about to. I think. No, not yet. Well, oh yeah, the first terminal inside ArcJet is when it goes to 2 times rather than 4 times, with sped up audio rather than silence. So here I attempt the preserved pie. And there's basically a very easy pickings along here as well. Like from these raiders, from the dogs, from the blowflies. What else? Yeah, so then, even if I had used the stealth boy throughout, like even riding the vertibird, I would have probably still been shot at, or at least they would have shot at the vertibird, but possibly not at me. But stealth boys don't really work well enough to allow me to like get down to the bottom and then like sneak through. Especially because there's a few synths on the upper levels. And so going through the stairs to get the ID and to locate the beryllium agitator, I would have likely been spotted and then shot at repeatedly. And then killed. So we are about to reach 2 times speed up. Any moment now. And here. Okay. So I just hide over here just to not get killed by these synths. So yeah, and then after that, what I ended up doing was I ended up taking, like, restarting the lift and taking that down to the bottom, and then attacking these synths at the bottom, like just out in the open, but also using my pacification ability to my advantage. And then, basically on the spot, I came up with the smart idea to use the power armor frame to block the synths from being able to enter into the room where you enter into the basement level. Right here you can see that I'm having trouble keeping under my maximum carry capacity. I think, yeah, so I've put that on. Just to have a little more capacity. I look through here and at the moment there's nothing that I want to drop. But I think later on there are items that I do drop. I think I drop
Got it.
I don't remember which resources I drop. Maybe copper and stuff, but from here.
That's it.
Yeah, so then when I got into the into the basement. Into the basement of Mass Fusion. That was actually very easy for 2 reasons. One of which was because I made sure to have Hacker before doing that. And I ended up getting Hacker 3 a few quests beforehand. I think I got Hacker 3 during Liberty Reprimed, I think. Maybe. And then after that... when I wore the rad suit and got through the highly irradiated area, it seemed like I took a lot less radiation damage than I normally do when, like, in the few times that I went through that area with wow, that music went loud. But yeah, when I had then challenges when I was using Radex to get through there. Like the Mysterious Stranger and Naked No Perks. They both went through that irradiated area using Radex rather than a rad suit. And then I'll let Dance kill these guys to get like the juice out of them. And here I decide to drop some. Yeah, okay, so I think I dropped the oil in the skulls and the desk fans. I'm keeping the circuitry, the ceramic, the aluminium, the uranium and stuff, etc. And then from there, when I at the end of Spoils of War, you're again at the ground level of Mass Fusion, but this time instead you're defending the Brotherhood people in there against synths. And so I'm not sure if this is still the same in current versions of Fallout 4. In older versions, if you just ran straight out, like if you just, rather than staying and killing all of the opposition, if you instead left and then escaped, then your side would automatically lose in that fight, and then whenever you enter there again, it'd always be the opposition rather than people on your side. But then when I went through there right after completing Naked No Perks, and I went through the bottom levels, there actually wasn't any this time BOS people. There weren't any BOS people in there.
Command accepted. Commencing 5-second countdown. 5, 4.
So maybe that mechanic doesn't happen
1.
if you do the railroad ending.
Engine firing.
Or maybe it was changed so that that doesn't happen, and you it's always safe
firing completed with an efficiency rating of 96.
Get through there after finishing the game. So here I am just picking up the guns so that I can get the ammunition out of them, and then from that I can use that to purchase stuff. And then I think at the end I end up taking booze just so that I can carry the Righteous Authority out and sell it. Oh, and here Dance sort of glitches out here. Like, you're still down there, I think. So I just run down here. I find a way to get down further, and I end up, like, jumping down from here. Try jumping down to the bottom floor. Yeah, from here.
We may have a problem. We got company.
Yep, there we go, and then he wakes up. And so I just take the elevator up
Going down.
as well. So yeah, then basically once everybody in the ground floor. Hold up.
Take fire. I hope that's the last one.
Okay.
Man out, check this information.
So once everybody in the ground floor was defeated, I took the power armor back to the top, and then I turned in the quest, and that was that stream. So then in today's stream,
Let's get out.
all I had to do was follow Liberty Prime all the way down to the Institute, hang around there while all the enemies get killed, and then go through the Institute until everybody through there is dead and all that stuff happens. And so I did the part where I followed Liberty Prime, then I went to Diamond City, I bought like bullets, food, that sort of stuff.
Bunker looks clear. Let's move out.
And then
You. Well,
Yo.
I could go smoother, but
Smoother?
that's sweet was slide.
Yep.
However, I'm not certain I could.
I thought we worked well as a team.
Agreed. That being first and foremost, I think you'll
I agree.
be
so does it go to 4 times here?
That isn't necessary.
I insist you keep. Now, we had a lot. Our op. There's no doubt. The way I see it.
So,
we
so
spent more.
I'm pretty sure I
swing it, bro.
say
No, I need to move
yeah, I
on.
say
That's a
no.
shame. Well, if you change, good luck to you.
So just eat stuff. And oh, don't take chems to I just eat heavy food. Okay, and yeah, here it's 4 times again. So after not getting to level 18 from this, I realized that there's still quests in Diamond City that I can do to reach the gap to get to level 18. For example, oh, I do take booze. Yeah, I repeatedly take booze to get my strength up so that I can carry the extra 10 weight. Yeah, so then there's basically finding the paint, there's finding the mutated fern, and then there's finding the baseball stuff. Oh, and then there's also Confidence Man, which I also do. I get close to Hangman's Alley a few times in order to try to get the location, but to no avail. Yep, and that's the last boost that I take. Probably. Right. So I just sell the heavy stuff to Percy, so that I am able to walk, and I like buy like I buy his leather so that I can craft the deep pocketed armor mod. I think I buy some junk items as well, maybe. Yeah, just like the light stuff, like the aluminium. So I scrap all the armor bits. I don't quite get to that, but I end up going into here now that I'm underweight. So while Vadim is doing his dialogue, I'm actually talking to Edward here. That just makes things a little more convenient. I sleep here to pass the time till daytime. even though I didn't realize that I could have checked Percy's junk inventory. Like, he might have had a baseball, he might have had something else with leather in it in that slot, and I could have built the deep-pocketed at that moment anyway. So I buy a single leather piece, then I steal some more ammo. So I go to the deep-pocketed. That gives me like 20 more carry capacity, and here I buy all of his cryo cells, and I sell the rest of my pre-war money and the rest of my ammo. So that'll give me more room to operate once I've done once I get the Cryolator in the next episode. So that was that. And yeah, so then in today's stream, killing the institutes. So after Liberty Prime was finished with the enemies on top of the institute, I then ran down to Diamond City, and the In Sheep's Clothing quest starts, where you have to where Danny Sullivan is a... Oh, here I'm on 2 times, just so that it's easier to see.
Yes.
Because there's a few close-ish calls, I think. Yeah. Oh, that's right where the enemies are. So I sneak up here, because there's a magazine and there's like some bullets and some other goodies in this part of the the dungeon. Oh, and the chems. Yep. So here I just pick up the other stuff and then I get out of there before I get spotted.
Shut up! They're headed this way now. Be ready.
But then they just stop noticing me after that. So yeah, to do In Sheep's Clothing, I didn't want to give Danny one of my only 2 stim packs. Oh, there's the mutated fern. I get shot at by the raider, I think. Yeah, I get shot at once. But it doesn't hit me because he's so far away and he's using a shotgun as well. So yeah, then after... Oh, so basically to get Danny healed, I actually ended up sleeping for a total of about 8 hours until 8 AM. Then I walked into the Mega Surgery Center and got Dr. Sun that way. And funnily enough, that worked just fine. Danny Sullivan is apparently very patient as he dies. Oh, here I sneak to get like the contents of the safe. And then I sneak a little bit more. I get spotted by the Mirelurks. It's midway. Yep, so I quickly get the ammo. I quickly get the magazine and the chem cooler stuff. And then I actually hide over here, wondering if they'll actually run away, but they don't. Like the bars increase, but then they spot me again. So after a few moments, I hop on here, and then I take a buff jet, and then I run away. But I also take care to veer to the right so that I get onto the land a little bit earlier. So here I am taking the buff jet, and then the water. No, just run this way, and then run that way. And there's that. Oop. So yeah, then after taking care of Danny Sullivan, I ended up. I went up to the mayor's area, and then when it comes to the confrontation, I was actually able to pacify him. So then as I was threatening him, he actually had his arms in the air, which was funny. But yeah, that stuff was fairly easy. Then I saved again, and I went up to actually enter into the Institute. I successfully went through most of it, and because of my high charisma, I was able to get all the speech checks from Father. But then, right in the last room with enemies, with the legendary guy that has a missile launcher, I hacked the terminal.
Hey, it's Joe.
And then
Got him all right here. I like
this baseball.
Look at that card.
oh, and here I get 300 caps.
Leather on that.
No,
That's everything on the list.
900 caps, which is very, very good.
You need protection. Everyone. I'll take a look. Sure.
Something.
Okay. So here I just give him all of my syllables. Just so that I Oh wow, the idiot savant sounds funny when it's sped up.
Hey, you find any mutated fern for me?
Mm-hmm. Found the plant.
All right. Now, I don't mean to be a drag, but I gotta...
Okay, so I think I'm nearing level 17. Yeah, that sounds about right. So I give this to Abbott.
You're back. You find that paint?
Wasn't easy, but I found some.
Now that's dead.
There we go.
That's a good
Right. Happy to help. It's been...
It's nice.
There we go. I don't quite level up. And then I decide to do Confidence Man here. Okay. So yeah, basically, after hacking the master terminal in the room before the room where the enemies are, I got shot at by the legendary synth and killed. So then I had to go through all of that again. But then I did find out that the closest bed allowable by the challenge,
I'm in.
like to the CRT ruins, wasn't actually this or home plate. It was actually the beds in Cambridge Police Station, which is both closer and also behind less loading screens.
Excuse me.
Hi.
So here I just start off this fight,
I don't like you.
but then I run away
What you gonna do about
so that I don't get killed because I
Hey,
can't attack him at
Hey
all.
there, pal.
Oh, it's you.
Well, this...
I don't.
Sure.
I just wish...
Let's do something about this then.
No, with these men.
Don't worry. I've got you.
Well,
Get lost.
okay, that's... Well,
Beat it, pal.
that's enough.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have
say
more
so.
of its bone structure.
I
Stop by the
said-
mega surgery sometime.
Leave me alone.
Look at you. Let me think about that for a second. Nah, I don't think so.
I mean it. Leave me alone.
You'll get used to Diamond City security being unhelpful. Just ignore him like I do.
Travis, what are you gonna say? What else? I'm wondering what comes after that.
Don't know.
What you gonna do, little man?
No one now.
I'll beat you up.
Big mistake, Travis. I'm gonna destroy you and your friend here.
Okay. So then that conversation finishes. They're whacking me a bunch, but I'm just hiding here, waiting for them to be done. they're like just going whack, 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 whack. Okay. And then I think here they finished. No, they're still fighting because I can hear them punching. And then shortly there's like some silence. And then I check to see and yeah, right here. I go over here and Bull is blue and Travis has been down.
Travis.
Why am I doing this?
See this bar? I killed a man for it.
This is such a bad idea. You're wrong too. Why am I doing this? Get lost.
Oh, and here he's having trouble
Hey, Travis.
speaking,
Oh,
but
jeez.
here we go.
I am so sorry.
Look on the bright side.
Yeah? I'm gonna go now.
Okay, not quite what I expected, but we move on. Ready for next part of full...
Uh-huh. Bring it on.
Good,
Uh-huh.
you have seen Scott. Now, if someone...
Right. I could have a chat with her.
Yes, just do, and you and I...
There we go.
Close. Just not my basement. During the day.
Oh, and here the game has trouble letting me out of the door. Oh, and here I'm wondering, like, because there's a container called door, but I was confused because I thought that it was thinking that the actual door was a container, whereas instead it was actually a part of the perfectly preserved pie porter diner. So here I talk to this lady.
Miss?
I'm on a break right now.
Actually?
Did he
Uh-huh.
heard about the fight?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You think? I mean,
Look,
okay, I know.
There we go.
Now, smart.
Okay.
Everyone in this city's all jumping in the shadow. Chill out.
Everyone
Then I
understands?
talk to him,
Hey,
and then
Yefim.
he's like, "Oh no,
Uh-huh.
Yefim's
Take it
been
easy, you'll be all
kidnapped."
right. I'll bring him back, Yefim. Please. Sure.
Yep. And so he says, "Talk to Travis." So I like save here just to have a save, but you don't actually need to enter Travis's home and talk to him. You can actually run all the way to Beantown Brewery, and it just works. He just appears there, and it's fine. He even comments about, like, yeah. So here I'm nearly level 17. So it's like 1.1 levels I need. That was a pretty long loading screen. I could probably cut that out.
Looking for Diamond City? Just follow the signs.
So yeah. Yeah, so basically, first time attacking the Institute as Bootstraps Billy, I got killed at near the end. Second time I went through, and then once I was on Mass Fusion and watched the final cutscene, the power armor was still there, so I then jumped off of Mass Fusion, and then I actually managed to get on top of Good Neighbor and enter the load zone from above rather than activating the door in to get in. And that basically ended Bootstraps Billy. Now, at the end of that stream, I already analyzed the perks that I took as that character, but I guess here, while I'm watching myself complete Confidence Man pacifist style.
What are you doing? I talked to Yefim. I heard him.
I had a hunch I might find him here.
Oh, okay. Well, and if any of this...
You shoot first.
Yeah.
There we go. So first he gets that guy, and then I save maybe. I don't remember if I saved in this room. Oh, and this raider doesn't have any weapons on him, so he actually like loses easily and gets killed. And I decide whether or not to take Metal Gear, but I decide not to take the Metal Gear because it's heavier. Oh, I don't sleep. Okay. So yeah, I just wait here. But what happens is Travis gets downed quite frequently, and when he gets downed, he just teleports straight to me. So this takes a while to have Travis kill everybody else. So back onto Bootstrap's Billy. I basically made the challenge, like added restrictions based on the idea of the character pulling himself up by his bootstraps, which means, like, essentially means that the only resources he can get
Nothing there now. What do you think? I don't know.
is resources that he gets from completing jobs or from, like, using
Where'd that little fucker go?
those job-acquired resources to barter with other vendors and stuff. I probably could have added to that and made it more interesting if I added the challenge of just not using any of the special perks. But the reason why I didn't do that wasn't to make it easier. It was just to distinguish it from
This is bullshit.
from the original from Naked No Perks, from the Naked No Perks character.
You sure you saw something?
Oh, and here I'm trying to alert these guys here to get Travis to attack them, because otherwise he'll just faff around here, and then I end up. I see that they're nearly killed, so I just run up here. I think I end up running. Yeah, there we go. They throw a Molotov, or as I sometimes refer to it as an anti-me device, because it's very deadly to me.
Shit! No sign of him now. I like it. Hey, let's go eat. I got it. Jesus. Why are you in such a bad mood?
So here I'm just here, and oh, so I think I get Travis to attack them.
Come on, fight!
Nope.
You're getting paranoid. Nothing here.
And I think they walk past as well. No, they get right back over there. Run over here to get Travis over there, and then I run like to the middle and do a power attack. There we go. That got them. Okay. So I think Travis got one of them, but the others finished with Travis. Also, I checked to see if I still have well rested out of curiosity, to see if I would get the bonus from finishing the quest, because the Confidence Man quest actually finishes the moment you talk to Travis, which, well, after killing everybody and freeing Vadim. So here I see that Tower Tom is the last guy here, so I just hide over here, and Travis attacks Tower Tom, and so I just wait here as they duke it out. And fortunately, Tower Tom never spots me, otherwise I probably would have had to jet my way out, because I think his hunting rifle would one-shot me. So, Travis is nearly down for the count. Oh, Tower Tom, how wrong you are. Travis has infinite bullets.
Too fucking easy.
Yeah, so here I just wait, hoping that he'll continue attacking. And he doesn't, so I actually have to get Tower Tom's attention again, which I do basically by running over here and into the lights. But I do see that he's down to 1/3 of his health. But strangely enough, it takes 2 more rounds for them to finish duking it out. So I think Travis gets down 1 time. Yep. I think. Yeah. And then I turn... Oh no, he just runs straight back to me. So I bring him back over to Tower Tom. He's taken a little bit more damage. So they duke it out a bit more. And... yeah, so then I see that I'm in hidden now, so... over here, they're all dead. And I think I go back to get all the leather pieces.
Hey. Thank you. I didn't know if anyone would come. Hell yeah.
So, I turns out actually, I think I...
Hey there.
Yeah, I cancelled his dialogue once or twice. At least once, which is interesting. There we go.
I didn't know if anyone would come.
Yeah, so I still have well rested after
You're welcome.
all that time.
You are... and Travis, I am surprised to see you here.
Oh, and here I also get the bug
How did you get roped into this?
where updates that happen on the top left, like you have now obtained X disease, or
Hey there.
you have
What a day.
acquired
Hey, listen.
100 caps or
can throw it all.
something.
Thanks.
Right.
After all this,
Sometimes
that's
those just
nothing.
don't appear
Anyway,
at all. So I get the quest from him. I'm able to get Lone Wanderer 2, but that doesn't get me. It doesn't get me to yeah. So here I decide to get the leather, and I run back to get the extra leather from these guys. So at some point here, it should... yeah, I also pick up all these bottles. And so I end up with like 40 bottles. And then from that, I end up with so many bottles that I end up able to... I'm able to like start... I'm able to start filling the bottles, but then... oh, and here I can't sleep in there because there's like red roaches. But yeah, so I start filling the bottles, and then I leave my PS4, and I just wipe the dishes that I have to wipe, and then after doing all of that, oh, and there's the raider, so I just go to my other side. So when I get back from wiping the dishes, I walk back to Cool Guy, and he's still filling bottles after all that time. So I probably end up with something like 100 water, or some enormous amount of water. Oh yeah, so I actually talked to the robots at Grey Garden, and I get the cap reward that he like gives you, I think. Yeah, so I get that. He's over here.
Then let's make a deal. Supervisor Green. Ready to begin your fabulous shopping?
So I say, game show host, play along.
Right this way.
So then I get some of these items, and then I talk
It's
to
a
him.
brand new car. How does one?
I got an idea.
I like it.
I'll take the cash prize.
There you go. So then I take the cash prize, and then we are back to 4 times. And that's because the rest of this is running back to Sanctuary, doing even more scrapping, and doing even more XP grinding to get up to level 18. So, strangely enough, the doing all those quests didn't get me up to level 18, so I had to do a little bit extra. But that'll all go by quickly. So I run past here. I have items to sell to Trash Can Carla. So I just like sell my ammo and other stuff. Do I buy anything from you? Yes, I buy one thing, I think. I buy nothing from you, and then I just run back. And Kelly's still here, which is good because if that event is there, it means that there's no other event that could kill me, like Mr. Gutsy, for example. So I run past here, and I end up back in Sanctuary. Because there's still like a few houses left to scrap, fences, a few fallen trees and bushes. So here I just like craft some items, craft some food items, and then I get water pumping, and then yes, that's the cut there when I went to do the dishes, and then I use like the extra wood that I happen to get to do a little more grinding. I saw my junk, and then all these items here I get as well. So yeah, that's all of that. Yeah, and here's one of the fences that I scrap. So yeah, now the next episode after this, if I'm able to have this episode here uploaded before about 8 to 9 a.m. tomorrow, I'll be able to stream a recording session of this on Thursday, like tomorrow as of recording this. So that'd be interesting. Doing a live recording for YouTube. Like it will still be in this quality rather than in my like actual stream exports. I'd still use the PS4 recording feature on top of the PS4 streaming feature. And then in that episode, I'll get the Cryolator, I'll put as many mods as I can on it, and I'll, what else? And then I'll rescue Preston for XP. Because after getting the Cryolator, I want to get Science 1 so that I can do some of the armor mods for the power armor, the T45 that you get at the Museum of Freedom. So here we are, just building the final paintings to get up to level 18. So here we are, getting a little closer. I built some signs, and I reach level 18 right now. And I get Locksmith 3. That is the earliest in any playthrough that I've gotten that perk. So this is just the end as I run towards the bed. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Toodaloo.